up. It was after I'd had my third child. And I'd asked for a break because I'm having a third child. I'm going to need a break.
So give me a break.
I'm going to need a break because I'm hardly sleeping. What you're not going to do is have me sleep 2 hours for the day and then Phil say that those 2 hours belong to you. They don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay? They are mine. Okay? So maybe 6 months or so, I'd have regular dreams. But, I'm fresh. I'm just living life dreams. Like, nothing to see here, people. And then one day, just before I went to bed, they were like, you're gonna need to start having more sleep now. And I think it was the day we moved the baby out of our room into their brother and sister's rooms, and it was like,
yeah,
we're back, boo. Okay, and it's on and popping now. And I was like, eye roll, see how I stay, eye roll. But it was like,
you know what? One thing I know, I'm just gonna say, yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know you to ask things and not be ready for them.
Hello, dear sweet souls, and welcome to another episode of Awaken to Joy. Yeah, let's jump right back on where we had left. We were discussing quantum dreaming, as we tried to describe it as, and we were at the point where we were trying to explain like where it kind of changed for me, like where the big kind of shift happened for me. Just a question before I answer that. How did you feel about it when you saw that I was getting to the point where I was tired, but was kind of like asking for it to leave? When I say it, I mean the dreams, the missions. These missions that I used to go on.
Honestly, I understood why you wanted to. I didn't think. The thing is, I didn't know. Like, I didn't want necessarily for you to not have to do it, because part of me believed that if you're are meant to do this, we're all meant to do something for a reason here.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be that person, because sometimes it can have an impact and you don't know what will be the impact of that, to go against something that's meant to be. But at the same time, I understood why you wanted to rest, because I was like, I can only imagine if I sleep for 10 hours and I'm still tired every single time. Since no one's talking about you only had a 3 hours night and then the following night you doing 10 hours, you're still tired. That's different. Talking about night after night after night after night after night, you're still tired. It's like you start thinking now, wow, there's something here.
Yeah.
So it was more this for me, more of a concern that, okay, so how do we do life? Like, how can we be efficient?
Yeah.
Because you still have the physical life. I mean, you can say spirituality and everything, but you still have to be here experiencing this physical life. So for me, it was like, okay, that's still a reality. If you have children, you can still have to find a way.
Or a job, or
a job, yeah.
Or anything you may want to do.
Yeah, but
as simple as going to the shops.
When it comes to the job, people will slave it, drag themselves sick to the workplace for that money.
True that.
And everything else will fall apart.
All true.
So yeah, that's more where I was at the time, because I understood it. I understood somehow there is something here that, at least I understood that somehow there's something that I don't understand. That is other points. That's at least that has its own place and space.
It became very clear to me that was my job.
Can you elaborate like on that being your job? Like how did you come to that conclusion? What made you think that was the case?
It became my job because it actually took more time from me than my then occupation of singing, songwriting, though it's hard to call it an occupation, but that at which I'd generate an income from. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
Though, it's like I love music, I love all of that, that I'm still a creative, I'm still an artist, but I was literally just working this like a job. And I just felt like, and it's not like I ever said to them, I'm working this job and I'm not getting paid. It was like, I am tired. You know what I mean? It was more that. It was like, you are like, it is taking energy from me to do this. Like, guan. It was that.
Do you think, because, okay, when you talk about having a job, there's like, okay, Monday morning, you don't want to go to work, but you go to work because by the end of the week, if you get paid weekly, you can have the money in your hand.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to maybe, do things with it that will bring you joy. Or what we equate as that being the case.
Yeah. But that's never really been our vibe, though.
But no, I know, but then at the same time, it's if you're going to use the same words people are using, it's plain to see that has that a job, you don't get paid for it, you're tired. Why did you think? That's what I'm trying to get. Why made you think it's a job?
I'm saying it's a job in those okay, like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's been given a mission.
Yeah.
He's been given a brief.
A brief.
A brief.
Yeah, a brief.
Now get it done. It was that. Now go.
I know.
Every night.
But you see, in exchange, there's that, luxury, comfort that you tell me. Okay, because.
Okay, so I'm going to say this because it's lucid.
Okay. Yeah.
For example, and I will over the time say I will get into some of them. I will maybe I'll use it on shorts to condense because I cannot. If I've stayed somewhere for 2 months, I'm not going to come back and give you a blow by blow for the 2 months. I'm just going to give you the brief. So, like, once I had to help in opening up a business somewhere for someone, but they were very. They were very apprehensive about going and getting the money that they needed to get that business up and started.
Okay.
It was like in the 70s, I could say. And the only time I could realize those things is when I see the clothes have changed or the way that people talk is a little bit different. And in the dreams also, I'd like to say that I am aware that I speak English and French, yeah?
Right.
When I wake up, I'm aware what language I spoke in the dream because of that, which is low-key was a gift.
I get it.
Because it's like when you first learn a language, you're aware. When you know that language is when you have that first dream in that language.
Yeah, true.
If you've you have learnt another language before. As you learnt English, I learnt French. But in that dream, I was aware that I had spoken in another language. But for some reason, I couldn't remember what the language was. And sometimes I can't because I'm too busy getting on with it, the brief at hand, yeah?
Right.
And there was a time that I actually, in that dream or in that mission, I'd seen this beautiful, this massive, beautiful building / wall / fountain. It was magnificent and it was massive to me. And I was just like, and it was like at this square with cobble roads and stuff like that. It was absolutely, I stopped in the midst of the brief. I stopped and was like, wow, that is wow, this is nice.
So, I mean, you say dream. Would you qualify these as dreams?
I would qualify them as dreams only because I was sleeping. I would say they were very lucid.
Okay.
Extremely. I would, if to explain what it feels like to people who dream, I would say very lucid. But I came to realize that they may be more than that. Only to say that that was the one time I'd then woke up
Right.
into this life here, and I spoke to you about it. Didn't think anything of it. Maybe about a week later, I saw an advert on telly, and they were like, "Fly to Italy, da 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 da, blah 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 blah," and they showed this place. This place that I'd seen, like this place, and I was like, hang on a minute, I've been there, I've seen that. And you were like, yeah. And I was like, what's this? And you were like, it's Italy. And I was like, that's the actual place. And that's like the first time I realized I'm not just going to imagination spaces. I'm going to actual places.
But then, if you take, it's all the same. If you take that, our imaginations is like the minute you create a thought in your mind, it potentially exists in other realm or
yeah. But I'm
it's all
talking
the
about
same.
it in terms of being able to explain it to somebody who's still in this realm, doesn't dream, doesn't believe,
Well, then that raises another question. Then.
doesn't care, doesn't.
Okay, so that being said, do you have this experience only on Earth, like the place or on Earth, or is it like? And I mean,
Oh, you're talking about when I have briefs.
Yeah, because we talked about multi-dimensional. That could be multi-dimensional Earth. So it's the same Earth repeated parallelly. I don't know if I can say that, but in a parallel way, several times, and you got all these dimensions. Or is it of a planet, of a space? That's what I was trying to. That's actually what I was wondering.
No, I've had them in other places as well.
So
but that's what happened when I only started doing that once I had cleared certain energies out of my life. When I knew what it was to clear energies, and once I'd understood that something had to happen, and I'd gone through I was going through my healing stage. Not that you can. I think you can heal everything, but not that I'm quite complete with that. Not that I feel like I'm quite. There's some stuff I got to release still. I can admit that. They come up, I just release them and keep it moving. But at the time, there was a lot that I was sitting on that was clearly blocking the flow of things. That they were like, listen, it is time. You're gonna have to clean house.
Okay, so do you think is it energies that are blocking the flow, or is it because you're more intentional about it?
I think that it was, I'd had a dream where they let me understand what this was. And that was the dream that changed. Well, that was the meeting dream episode that changed everything.
But then, how can you be certain of that when you have countless amount of dreams? And is it not another one where you get into...
Because they feel different.
Or this time you actually jumped in yourself, so to speak, like, your own body, your own life.
Okay, so that hadn't happened yet. What I'd had before and what they explained to me is all of these times that I'd been jumping in had been me in different past lives or lifetimes or timelines.
So actually...
with different avatars.
Okay, I get it. So actually, you're helping yourself at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like,
What would be the purpose of that, though?
oh,
You know,
because there was a leveling up that had to happen across board.
bold. What do you mean?
All right. Okay. So, say for example, you look at enlightenment. A lot of people look at enlightenment as hierarchy, when it is nothing to do with hierarchy. It's more to do with expansion. So instead of what you would call up, I would deem as more out in many directions.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that.
So, yeah, it's not something that you can, or that I can right now have the vocab to explain more clearer than that without confusing the matter. But all this to say, there was a time where I'd had the dream step up. It was after I'd had my third child, and I'd asked for a break because I'm having a third child. I'm going to need a break.
So give me a break.
I'm going to need a break because I'm hardly sleeping. What you're not going to do is have me sleep 2 hours for the day and then still say that those 2 hours belong to you. They don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay? They are mine. Okay? So maybe 6 months or so, I'd have regular dreams. But, I'm fresh. I'm just living life dreams. Like, nothing to see here, people. And then one day, just before I went to bed, they were like, you're gonna need to start having more sleep now. And I think it was the day we moved the baby out of our room into their brother and sister's rooms, and it was like,
Yeah.
we're back, boo. Okay, and it's on and popping now. And I was like, eye roll, see how I stay, eye roll. But it was like,
You know what? One thing I know, I'm just gonna say, yes, I know.
yeah,
I know you to ask things and not be ready for them. Honestly, this whole thing is about your own healing and it's all coming in this form of quantum jumping through time and through different version of you, really.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're getting tired because you realize, that's something.
Because I said, look, if I'm going back this time, firstly, I need to know more. I need to know why I've been sent on certain of these missions, and I need to know what they are in conjunction to me. Like, why me? Why are you sending me on these things?
I guess.
So, their answer to me came in maybe 4 core happenings.
They are how do you say it? Lay down heavy.
They laid down heavy what?
No, what I wanted to say is it's like when you apply a bit too much butter on the toast.
They laid it on thick.
There you go, sorry. They lay it on thick.
They were like,
to me, when I hear these things, I'm just like,
you took off 6 months? Cool. It's like when you come back from school after being sick and you realise, they don't want me to have a life out here. Like,
they've been generous with the...
They've been generous with the homework.
With the homework, yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So I was like, all right, you would give it to me if you didn't think I could do it, and then the old adage is, oh, God never gives you anything you can't handle. All right, it's not too big for you. Saying this, semi-believing it, but saying it.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah, as you would.
And then they gave me a dream. And the first dream was that was a little boy and I was living in Boston, England, Boston. At the time, that place was called England, and it was in Boston, in America. Don't ask questions. I don't know. Somewhere around this. I'm only going to say it's
hold on.
late
Boston, America, or
America.
Boston in England?
America.
Because you just say England.
I've been in probably over, I'm going to say 20 countries over the course of me doing these missions.
Because you mentioned England. Why?
Because I could say England and you would think England, UK, not because I'm speaking with an English accent. So for the sake of people knowing that it wasn't, it was in Boston, America. In a place called England. At the time, that place.
Okay. You see, you even confused me.
Right. Okay.
I get it now. Okay, I get. Okay.
Now I'm only going to say it was like late 18th century, maybe earlier, because of the clothes. Everything's handmade. Everything is very Oliver Twist. Is the best way I can say how everyone was dressed. There weren't any cars. Everyone was on horses and stuff like that. It was that.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like what you see in movies all the time.
It was like, everything was like candles and oil lanterns and stuff like that. So that's kind of, I was like, oh, this is old. Low key now, at this point now, for the first time, I could have an opinion about it from me. So I knew already what the drill was. I knew I was here, and I knew that I wasn't in my body, because I was like, what you're not going to do is send a whole black girl back to that time. Sorry, but you're taking the piss. But they didn't. They
did your best.
They didn't. Because I was like... first time that I had been a little boy as well.
So what was the this is what I guess is one of your many lives.
I'm guessing at the time.
The thing
not jump the gun, but yeah.
No, because
at the time I had a brief and they said to me, "This one, your thing here is to help your father." Well, and I was like, help my father?
I wanted to clarify a few things then before you go ahead with this story.
Go.
Because you were saying that basically we established that all these dreams and this traveling through different parallel universe or world, it is a version of you, right?
That's what I later found out.
For most people, even though I know better now, but for when you're telling me this right now, it is still an effort to have to not picture you as you are now in different world. Like if you take, for instance, mentioned in the previously, I mentioned the show The Flash. It is exactly the same looking man in another world, right? But in this instance, it is not, and it's not even the same timeline.
Exactly. Sometimes.
So how do you know it's your life? I mean,
I didn't. This is what you need to realize. All this time, I did not realize this. I was just gone for a mission, and that was it. So not to jump too much, but for example, the first big mission that I had that I remember was being in a place that I can only explain as a mountaintop in what might be Austria or Germany.
Right.
And I was a soldier, and I was on maybe a stakeout with somebody, and I betrayed them. Put it that way. I betrayed them.
So you were the buddy.
That's the thing. Once you jump, no, and I know exactly. No, I know exactly why you said it, because at the time, it was the funny thing is I'd always been into history, so I kind of recognized the clothing to know, which is probably why I was low-key randomly, as I thought, into history, because as what I know about history helped me when I jumped to these places kind of know like, this looks a little bit 17th century. You know, it was that. But I wasn't. It was like 1940s. And I will get into that in another time, but I betrayed somebody and then I ended up subsequently losing my life. And my main goal there was to, number one, help them transmute the fear of death.
So you betrayed someone, yeah?
Yeah.
And you died subsequently.
Anyway,
but I'm just saying.
no,
like,
I died
you
anyway. I thought that I was going to leave with my life as a result of that betrayal.
Of course, but you died
anyway.
But I'm just saying you experienced death in that.
I experienced
what
death
you call
in,
right now dream, but you realize it's a bit more than just dream.
That was the first time I realized this is not a dream, because I woke up literally feeling every bullet hole that guy got and had to watch him die, had to be in him and with him while he passed over, just to bring him some sort of comfort, because he was terrified.
It is very interesting, the fact that we can almost not touching on a few subjects here, but we can and we not. By the word we say, because you say, well, this is while I'm sleeping, this is a dream, this is part of the universe.
I'm trying to get people to understand
and
it.
Lives that is why I'm asking you this question.
Because it happens when I.
This is lives that you
sleep,
you experiencing, but it's not all at the same time. So that another thing is like to get your head around it, because you say 18th century, so you have the notion that also of sort of a timeline.
Yeah, I have the notion of the period of time I might be in, depending on the people's clothes, or what their news is. That sometimes now I know if it's a modern day, I will go and run to the news and find out what year it is.
Right. But then, if you are speaking about this in our timeline now, in the now, then how can it be possible for this not already to have happened? And then you now are sort of like not going in the past, but going in the past, because you're helping someone that's, by anybody's standards right now on Earth, with the notion of time here that is linear, you're helping someone that's already dead, already. Okay, so
yeah,
could you explain? I mean, yes, I know some of the stuff, but obviously I'm sure that that's kind of like a big question.
I will unpick that, but we're gonna put a pin in the Boston, England thing, so you have to remind me to go back.
I will do. Go ahead.
I arrive at this place, I'm given the scenario, I'm given the brief, I do the brief. I don't ask questions about anything much. This is just information gathered as and when. The most important thing in that moment is to help that person with what they need, without judgment. Like,
are you giving a brief, or you find yourself in this situation and naturally speaking, because you're in a situation, you react to the situation? What is it?
I'm given a brief. Now, I can't tell you when. I cannot tell you when I'm given this brief, and I can't tell you how I'm given the brief. All I know is I appear somewhere and I automatically knowing as to why I'm there and what I have to do and what's expected of me.
So it's a knowing.
It's a knowing, as if I'd had the conversation, as if the conversation was had.
Okay. Then, okay, so that's the timeline in this reality that you're experiencing through your dreaming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this actual timeline, it's not finished, right? You are experiencing that timeline.
I'm going to confuse you more.
Go ahead.
By telling you that as I understood that there was more things for him to transmute, and there was, I wouldn't say an unsuccessful version of that, but this particular avatar wanted to go back and transmute something else. So I went back again with them to the same place
Right.
to play out the same thing, but in a way that was more suitable for them, so that they could come to forgive themselves.
Okay, so this is you in another reality that is going through some things, possibly from where you stand here. Let's say this actually happened. Let's assume this actually happened, and that was a time in history, and you went to that person that is you. Are we touching on reincarnation here?
Okay,
Because if
I
it's
think
you and you're here now, what is it then?
okay.
Just to understand what this work is about, because...
Have you seen... Well, you have Back to the Future, right?
Right, yeah, I did.
All right. Looking back at Back to the Future again, yeah? Why
Right.
was it so loved? Because our generation just accepted the fact that you can go back and forth in time. Boom. We
Yeah.
just did. We took it. We saw the premise. We took it on.
Yep, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Had it come out any sooner, it may or may not have taken the same way our generation took it. We took it in, we loved it, we accept it as truth, right?
Yeah, but then you will see your younger self, you would look identical. Now in this particular situation, you don't. It's another person, it's another life.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's you're saying.
I'm saying me as in the fact of, if you are a multi-dimensional being,
Right.
and I've now chosen this avatar for this experience.
Yeah.
What I've come to realize is there's such things as oversouls, which have many splits of souls having many experiences.
Many experiences, yeah.
I'm just simply going to the souls of which I share an oversoul with, from my understanding of what they've told me.
I understand. Okay, so who they?
They're which gives me the missions.
Guides?
I can't tell you.
Spirits?
As I said, it's just
Spirits that was sitting at the end of your bed?
no.
That
No,
you don't
not
want to
them.
talk to?
Not them.
No?
Not them.
They're
Not
good
Linda.
enough.
Not
good
Linda.
enough.
No, not Linda
Yeah.
and whoever and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
No. As I said, it's just a knowing.
Right.
I get the information. A lot of times they will... this is so much to unpick. Thank God we're doing a whole series about this. All right,
Well,
so...
this is what you want to be able to do.
Okay, I'm going to do one at a time. So for the first one with the one in the wall,
Right.
experiencing death like that, it was the first time. Because
Right.
don't forget what I'd been brought up to believe. You die in a dream, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, you're dead now.
Yeah.
Don't think about waking up in this life. It's not going to happen. Not true. Sorry. Not my truth. That's why I'm going to leave it at that.
So you don't die in a dream then?
Multiple times. Not my truth.
Okay.
Okay? And that's another thing that went with my belief about being scared of the dark. I in my soul, I believed that to be true. So I was like, I better not do anything too crazy in my dreams. Which, if I remember rightly, then I used to control my dreams from young, because I used to be like, well, I can't die.
So
Two things.
So that
Don't die and don't piss. You piss in your dream, you piss in the bed. You die in your dream, you're dying.
Well, I
Like,
can
everybody
tell you
knows that.
You piss,
Like,
you piss in the bed. You piss in the bed. I've experienced it before. going to the toilet. Before I was going to the toilet,
haven't we all? Okay.
you know. Plus, I was
Give or take a few
I was
million.
sleepwalking when I was a kid, so you know.
Well, that's my...
Excuse me. You've
Go,
got a little
go.
something here.
Thank you, babe.
It's probably the mic.
Yeah, I
Let me
probably
not
got... It's
pinch
on my...
your
It's on my lip. Look.
Sorry about that.
You have to go and get it.
Yeah.
Real good one time.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's probably the mic.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah. So anyway,
And
Hang
it was
on.
just...
hang on. Wait, because it's going fast. Because I still feel like it needs to be explained how this in time is even possible, if it is you.
You're jumping. You're jumping. Okay?
What do you mean
You're jumping. I found this out after all these things had happened. So imagine I'm going in, I'm just dealing with this for somebody. I'm dealing with this for and with somebody, for them. So I'm not doing it with the judgment that it's me or the knowledge that it's me in any way or the understanding that it's a part of me.
Okay.
I'm just doing it
So-
thinking this is something I have to do for and with somebody
Okay,
else.
hold on. Okay, yes, I understand. When that happened, you're not aware of that, but not today. You are aware of that, though.
Yeah,
Which means if you're in that situations,
yeah,
are you in a situation with the awareness today of this being a version of you now?
yeah. And
Okay.
that's the difference.
Okay, so, right, so we can assume that that little boy, he is a version of you.
Not me, Shamel.
No, not you, Shemel, but whatever
like-
soul you share
Yeah,
with, we're gonna say avatar,
I would assume so from what I've been explained.
for what you've been explained. So when you go in this 18th century,
I was, okay, I'm going to tell you why this one was prevalent.
right?
Not only was I there,
Right.
but I was there for a year. To the point where that was the longest time I had been somewhere else.
But I did not miss you for a year.
I know you didn't.
So
I promise you, I had to, that's for me personally, I had to firstly get over the fact that I might never come back here. That's it. I've been doing, this is how I felt.
but yeah.
This is Shem feeling this way in this little boy.
okay.
That's it. That's it. Number one, we look like we're failing this mission. Number two, I'm never getting back out of this. You've sent me on a mission now that if I don't pass now, this bar is set higher. I'm never coming back home. Thanks. Could have told me on my way in. Cussing. I spent about 3 months just cussing about the fact that they had not sent me home yet. Like they hadn't woke me up, because I can wake up out of these things once I feel the mission is over.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, going back. Boom. Wake up, done. I was not going back. I would be going to sleep and waking up right there in that. And it just got to a point where it's like,
So
this is me
okay.
now.
Okay. So
I'm
so a year.
7 years old and
So there's obviously like a.
I live here and I'm a little white boy and
The notion of time is not as we know it here. I mean, it's not possible.
it
Could you-
isn't.
could
And
you-
I
would you-
was aware,
could
and a
you-
part of me was aware of that, but I had never done the year.
But hold on, you said when you woke up from one of these dreams, you felt all the bullet hole.
You're jumping, but yes, I did.
No, I'm not jumping.
I'm not on, that wasn't in Boston.
No, that was in Boston.
Yeah.
Taking back the story previously, you've said that
Yeah, you
as you
jump
woke
in
up, you
story-
felt.
yeah.
No, there's a reason why I'm saying
Okay,
this.
go. I'll let you have this
The
first go.
reason is that you jump a year. Do you realize you just telling the audience? I just went into a dream and lasted for a year. That's a long time.
Okay,
Now, I woke
they
up-
could be as bewildered as they want to hear it, but imagine going through it, okay? So just pump your brakes, okay? Pump your brakes.
But I'm just
'Cause
saying,
you-
okay.
hey.
I understand. I can't get my head around that anyway. But I'm just saying that, okay, for the sake of who's hearing this story, yeah. Now you felt the bullet hole from a previous dream you had as you woke up. So there's an effect in your physical body.
Yeah.
There's something happening.
Yeah.
Perhaps you missed that year physically. Haven't you ever thought about it?
I missed that year physically. I don't understand.
Well, if the effect is felt on your body, you wake up. You're actually not, say, 25 years old anymore. You're 26 years old.
Oh, like, did I wake up with extra wrinkles?
But you might not notice it, but because you're so young, you don't notice that.
I'm going to
just putting it
say
out
my
there.
skincare game is not what people my age would do. I hear like what a lot of people are doing, and I'm not doing 95% of those things. So I wouldn't know as far as if it was a dream or if it was just my lack of skincare.
But could you explain a bit on this, because you went to you were can we say you were with this little boy for a year, or you were this little boy for a year?
It now goes like this. I was him for a year.
Okay.
Because that was the first time, like I said, this was one of the dreams that where I'd come back, innit? I was back after my break. The biggest break they'd given me in my adult life.
With the biggest dream
I was back.
to come back to.
And that was the biggest.
I give her, yeah.
I was
That's how
like,
it goes.
I'm not even, she'll never ask for a break again. She'll take what she's given. I was like, so I'd come back. I was this little boy, and the reason I knew I was gone for a year is because usually it's a month or a week. First it started off as a week, but it'll be a month, 2 months maybe, and you come back.
Because anyone
But
can
this
feel.
was a year because, funny enough, outside where we lived on the main road, what you'd call a main road there, and at the corner we lived on the corner of a place, and at that corner every morning there was another little boy who would have a read all about it job.
Right.
You know, the one with the newspaper, extra, read all about it.
Yep.
And every morning I would see him and I'd say hi. And he'd have the newspaper and it would be the date there. And I just knew.
What was the date?
And it was 18 something.
Right.
But when I wake up, you need to understand that the way that these things go, the information is integrated. Like, I'll wake up, just how, have you ever had a dream and you're like, oh, I had a dream, I can't remember all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you spend a year somewhere,
Yeah,
you take the best bits.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And slowly but surely, during the day, you have memories, or the month, you'll have memories about, like, yeah, that happened to me when I was in Boston.
Yeah.
It was that. And I just knew, because there was a time I felt such despair in that dream that I was never going back. There was no way I didn't know I was there for a year. I was like, wow, it's been a year. My mission has failed. My mission was to actually get my father was an alcoholic, and it was to get him to stop drinking alcohol.
So you have the awareness in these missions that you are you.
Yeah.
Like, not, I mean, if the little
Like, it's Shem. But I'm aware that I'm not reading to whoever is there as me, Shem, this avatar. I'm aware that I'm not, being viewed as me. I'm aware that I am sharing this experience with this boy, because as and when he needs my help, I will take the reins. And other than that, I will walk by him.
Right. Okay. I understand.
Like a guide.
Okay.
Like I'll be here.
Okay.
Walking by him. Like by his side.
Like I said, it sounds like you're actually the guides of all these. I guess you're your own guides, if that is you, on all these lives.
I'm still getting to the bottom of that mystery.
It sounds like it.
It sounds like it, but I'm, as I ask more questions, I get more answers, and I go on more of these things, and I'm just like...
you were telling these so-called people at the end of the bed, i.e. yourself, bug off. They were like, listen, little girl, calm down. We're here for you. You need help.
Look,
you're scared of the dark, and we're going to need you to do these missions.
When they left, I was like, whatever did happen to them? It was that type of feel. I was like, whatever did happen to him? I wonder what happened to him.
Like,
it's
she
always
ready.
in that same old suit.
She's ready.
I was like, I'll figure it out one time. Like, I'll figure it out at a time. Okay. But it was that, and it was very... And when I woke up, into this life, I can't tell you the piece of hug I gave you. Like, I literally thought...
You didn't see me for, yeah.
I didn't, though.
Oh, no.
And I thought I wasn't coming back.
What made you think you're not coming back?
I couldn't wake up.
Oh, you wanted to wake up.
Oh, hell yeah. I was like, listen, 6 months, you're taking a piss.
Abort mission. Is that what it was?
Abort. This man is a drunk. Goodbye.
So, okay. So to talk about the dream in itself.
Yeah.
So what was the issue in the dream? Like, what did you need to help this little boy, which to me sounds like a version of you? For the way you explain it, I can only assume that because this is your words.
I don't know what, and I don't know why. I just knew he needed support, and I was here to help him. And he was just like, he was basically his dad's only care. He would go late at night I would walk with him late at night to the clubs or whatever pub it was. I'm saying club, it was a pub. It was an inn, actually. Collect his dad from whatever gambling room he'd found himself in. Stumble sometimes with him back. A grown man stumbling back home with a child, trying to get his drunken father back home. Just because he's worried.
Right.
Being there when he was crying, full of worry. That he couldn't find. Sometimes he'd go to the places and it would be too late.
Okay.
And I remember we had a winter there that was brutal. Oh my, oh Lord! And in the building they had rats. Not that I'm going to say but I'm talking about the boy was scared of them. Kind of took them as friends, but they would eat holes in some of his stuff and they would eat some of the bread, and they were a bit of an inconvenience at times, and they were his friends, but then they were like the only people he could like take it out on.
So he didn't have anybody else, I guess?
No.
Okay. What about the mother?
Died.
Okay. As you would write the perfect Hollywood story, isn't it?
You'd think.
That's like you better like patent this these dreams. True story.
I've been trying to sit down and write a detailed book, but it's been happening for the past nearly 20 years now, so I need to figure some stuff out before I get it all down. It's down somewhere in detail-ish, but as I said, now since I came back after this break, it stepped up because if now missions that I haven't done or missions where it's like we're going back in, I will go back in.
I understand. So now you're able to kind of like connect the dreams, so to speak. One mission that is not finished, you will maybe wake up
I have,
and then go back the following night, or maybe a couple of nights later once you're rested.
It doesn't work like that. It's like I have an allotted amount of things that I have to do, and then they get done. And then once I have done something in my own spiritual journey in my life, like I had to transmute a lot of things here,
right,
for myself personally. But as I've transmuted them and understood that, okay, in the theory that I'm a multi-dimensional being, if I transmute something here, if anyone's ever watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's that. If I transmute something here, it's a ripple effect for all that I am.
So, okay, for all the versions of you mean. So, when you say transmuting, how could you explain it? How can you explain it?
I would like to think whoever's watching this has already heard the word transmute, but for those who haven't, it's like a transformation of a feeling or emotion or thing. So, like, if you transmute hate back to love, if you transmute fear back to love, it's not an eliminating of it. It's not an eradication of it. I know here, especially here, on, you know, in this 3D realm that we're in, we often say, you know, like, you annihilate something, you know, you get rid of something, you have to throw away something, it's more of an erasing of, like, you kill it, you ego death or whatever it is. But if you come from an energetic level and understand that nothing ever really dies, then if something isn't to your preference, it's not for you to kill it, it's for you to transmute. Firstly, how you feel about it, what you believe about it, and then that thing itself will transmute. So he was scared of being alone. He was scared that his dad would be an alcoholic. But that year that I spent with him, he realized how much he'd done by himself, how much dinners he'd cooked by himself, how much times he'd been able to keep the roof over their head. This boy was 7.
So why
and
is
found
it that
ways
he
to
transmuted
earn money.
or you helped him transmute?
He just came to an acceptance of his situation, and he didn't try to change his father anymore. He was like, I just have to change because I'm running myself ragged with this man.
Okay.
I just have to become stronger. I have to become wiser and smarter and more sharper if I'm to continue this life. Like, he never, and bless him, because he was never suicidal. And I know that people don't like to think about children being suicidal, but if they're put into enough misery, danger, despair, density, that I have experienced times where that has come up in some of my travels.
Yeah.
In some of my quantum travels.
I can see why, yeah.
But for the most of it, kids are way more tenacious, stronger, deeper, connected than adult bodies.
Well, yeah, I can see why you would actually like help in that situation. You know, it's a child that's going through something.
Yeah.
So as being a guidance, a bit like you when you needed a guidance at the time, well, you kind of like played that role.
I wanted to leave.
So you were more bothered than him then?
I was way more bothered than he was. Like, I'm not...
But you had a mission, so you didn't leave. That's what matters.
I had a mission. I thought it was over already. I was like, well, you know what? I've already accepted that your dad's a drunk. I think it's time you accept he's a drunk and we can move on from here, because I swear I've got school run, I've got kids to get back to, and I don't know, like, I can't stay here. It's too cold. That winter was brutal.
But why made you stay? You couldn't wake up?
I couldn't wake up. Not for lack of trying.
If that situation, that dream was just presenting a version of you that you helped, if you're all connected, it serves you anyway, isn't it?
Well, I didn't know that at the time, but yeah.
No, but that you say that this has a ripple effect.
It does, though.
Into many...
It does. Yeah, it does, and it did. It does, and it did. It does, and it did. And, you know, it also transmuted the idea of being other than for people. I've been so many different races and spoke so many different languages and been in so many different genders. I can't look at somebody and be like, oh, you look like this, so you're this. And every time that does come up in my life here, it's like the programming of that, not the belief, the programming of that it quickly dissipates because of my knowing that other than that is completely true.
You know what? It sounds like I mentioned earlier about reincarnations. All these, if someone believes in it, help to understand. Obviously, if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. But the concept of reincarnation is you having many lifetimes, isn't it?
It is.
So it sounds like all the different version of you could potentially be there as well, which you kind of amend the issues that you might have had over these different lives.
Well, the other one I had, which, as I said, was a series of 4 huge happenings.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Wow, I know I do this every episode. I'm looking at the time. We got bounce.
We got a bounce, yeah.
Look, next time, innit, peeps? I don't know what else to say to you. I've got 4 kids now. Is what it is. I've got things to do.
It is what it is.
We'll let that marinate. And then please, like I said, like if you lot have any vocabulary for me to explain this even more, or any, you know, any of your own stories that could shed light on this, please share. And we will see you next time. And thank you for holding space for this, and thank you for this co-creation. All right. Love.
Ciao.
Ciao.